What does the playback of your life look like? For me, on a regular day, I'm spending 8 hours almost looking at a computer screen. And then I spend another 3 to 5 hours looking at a smaller computer screen. The thought of how much time we spend looking at screens instead of what's happening around us, it just boggles my mind and burns in my soul a little bit. Actually, let's go back a couple of days and see what sparked this whole thought. I had a bit of an observation last night. I was at my daughter's softball game, and for whatever reason, I got on my phone and was on Facebook, scrolling through nothing. Softball game was still going on. Sorry for the noise. I'm on our walk and I'm next to the road. But scrolling through Facebook, and then it just kind of dawns on me, and I'm like, why am I on Facebook? I'm at my daughter's softball game. Why don't I just enjoy that? So I put my phone back in my pocket. But then I look up and I look around at the rest of the crowd there, and roughly half were also looking at their phones. And we're talking grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, all the people that would be at a softball game. And half of us were on our damn phones. Like, we're there to support the team, to support, our relative or our family member. Why in the hell are we on our phones? What is so important on the phone? And I'm gonna guess that most people would have a similar answer to mine, and that would be nothing. Nothing was on the phone. It was just a distraction from, I don't know, maybe they were warming up between innings and we started looking at our phone, and then we just stayed there, not even realizing that the next inning had started. So just brought it even more so to my attention that we need to be aware of what is going on. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to the now, not what's happening now somewhere else. You've got plenty of now right in front of you, so just pay attention. I just really don't want to get to a certain point in my life where I'm looking back and I think about all the time that I spent just staring at a little box. Yeah, you can do email, you can watch movies, you can communicate with people, you can listen to music, all from this fancy little box. But from the outside looking in, you're not doing any of those things. You're not experiencing life that's around you. You're looking at a little box. So this experiment is to just look at that box less. What are the other ways that I can live my life where I'm not looking at that stupid little box? I think what really bothers me is how much of what we read or what we view on a screen is actually something that we chose to look at. Or is it just something that an algorithm served up and we just continue to feed on it? I'd really like to make a move to being more intentional with my time, more focused with my efforts, and not allowing an algorithm to determine what I see. The phone is a super useful tool. It can be extremely useful. It's amazing how useful it can be. It can be your maps, it can be your notes, it can be your reminders, it can be your entertainment device. You can watch movies on it, you can communicate with other people, you can even make phone calls on it. You can do just those productive things with the phone. But I think we would all agree that that is not the primary time that we spend on our phone, because while we can do those things, it's so easy to get looped into something else and just get stuck there. It's like, oh, I'll just check Facebook for a second. I'll need to get rid of this notification bubble, or Instagram, or whichever one, and then all of a sudden a half an hour later you're like, what was I doing again? And what's incredibly troubling to me is any time that I spend, especially watching short form content, you can spend a half an hour and you'll get done and you'll be just like, I don't remember anything that I just watched. So that's like an hour, half hour, whatever time you spent on there just completely wiped away from your life. And I think there's just so much more that we can do. So how do we make the phone become a useful tool instead of just a numbing agent? Starting today, as in like now, I'm going to take a different approach. It's the weekend, so I'll have 2 days a weekend, and then I'll have the work week, and we'll see where we end up on next weekend. But I'm going to take a different approach. So now I can't go cold turkey. I can't just get rid of my phone. I'm a parent. I have to be able to contact my wife. I have to be able to contact people at my work, things like that. So I can't just get rid of my phone, and I'm not going to get a dumb phone to spend hundreds of dollars on something that I already own. Seems pretty ridiculous. So I'm just going to delete all of the apps that I don't use. So I'm going to use alternative methods of doing other things instead of using my phone for them and see how it goes. First, for entertainment purposes, I went to my local library and I got a book. I found that I just can't read anymore. The attention span is not there. It's really hard for me to focus even on a good book or a good story for too long, and I think that's just because we don't read anymore, and it doesn't hit that dopamine like a scrolling on the phone would. So I'm going to be focusing on reading and being entertained by a book and using my own mind. Secondly, for productivity and capturing thoughts, I'm going to be using my pocket notebook. So to-dos, notes, thoughts, anything that I need to scratch down or remember later, it's all going to be going in here and instead of going into a app on my phone. And finally, I'm going to be using my new Insta360 Ace Pro 2 to record what happens around me, things that I would be taking photos of and videos of with my camera. I'll be using this instead. In fact, right now, let's go ahead and do it. I'll be honest with you, I have this new toy, this Ace Pro 2, and I've really been enjoying using it. It's a great tool. It's got a flip up screen so you can actually see yourself when you're recording. The microphone actually sounds pretty good for an in-body microphone, and the video quality's been pretty decent. There's some certain things that I can't record that I thought I could record. Closer up stuff, it's not great at that, but that's not really what it's built for. So but it does a great job of capturing things. Its video quality, especially in nighttime, is way better than what you think it would be, and so it's going to be my primary camera for right now. If you've seen my previous videos, I talk about using my phone as my camera instead of a mirrorless that I was using. And for now, I'm going to be using the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, and mostly because when I use it, I'm not also using Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or any other thing that is going to distract me from the process that I'm doing. So it helps me stay in the moment a little better, and it's really just been a joy to use so far. So how did 1 week of being intentional with my time go? Well, pretty well. I did read the whole book. It was really challenging at times. Sometimes my eyes would be rolling across the words, but my brain wouldn't be comprehending what was happening, and I'd have to read it all over again. But I think that's just from being out of practice with reading. I'm going to get another book and try it again, see what happens. As for the notebook, I used it a little bit, not a whole lot. There just really wasn't much need for it this week, but it was handy at times. And then the video camera, I was also not using it a whole lot this week other than for this here video. And I went to a family fish fry / pool party yesterday and used it for that. It was really fun to get some slow-mo underwater shots and things like that. But I think the real story is that I had a really busy week. And I don't know if that's because I was being more intentional with my time or that I just had a busy week. And that really kept me off my phone every day. I'm not going to say that I didn't scroll social media at all, but I think I was so busy with life that I didn't have time to. And I think that's the real story here, is that if you focus on the things that you need to be doing, the people that you're with, you won't have time for all the social media doom scroll nonsense. You'll be doing real things. You know, it was a very busy week. I was doing something almost every single night from the time I woke up till the time I went to bed. It was pretty exhausting, but it was also very refreshing to be able to check so many things off of my list that I had to do, and to be with my friends and my family and just have a great time and not paying any attention to what's going on in the phone. So like I said, I think that's the real story here. We need to be intentional with who we're with, what we're doing, focusing on the things that matter, and avoiding that trap of just pissing away time on a phone. So I hope this video helps you out a little bit. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. I normally have lots of cuts and transitions and things like that. This one's just going to be mostly just me walking around and talking to this camera. So if you like this kind of content, great. If not, maybe the next one will be more interesting for you. Until next time, we'll see you.